All right, I'm not going to worry about it. Let's talk about 18. Right. Okay. Day 18, like a rogue. As you enter this room, you hear a loud click. Some of the tiles in the floor here seem to be pressure plates for traps, and the trap you just triggered has run out of whatever it tried to do to you. You doubt you'll be so lucky next time. Upon closer examination, the traps and safe tiles in this room seem to follow a pattern. The tiles are arranged into rows that are all the same width. Take note of the safe tiles and the traps. In the first row, your puzzle input. Okay. Get my puzzle input. Oh, that's right. This should be up to date now. Get input 2016 18. Only one line read. Okay, so it worked. This is exactly 100 wide. Yeah, it is. Right there. 1, 100. Okay. How many safe tiles are there? Okay, that's what we're trying to figure out. The type of tile, trapped or safe, in each row is based on the types of the tiles in the same position and to either side of that position in the previous row. If either side is off, either end of the row counts as safe because there isn't a trap embedded in the wall. For example, suppose you know the first row with tiles marked by letters and want to determine the next row with tiles marked by numbers. The type of tile 2 is based on ABC. Okay, so we just create like these windows. And I think there's a Windows iterator in Rust. The type of tile 5 is based on tiles D and E and an imaginary safe tile. New tile is a trap only in one of the following situations. Its left and center tiles are traps, but its right tile is not. Its center and right tiles are traps, but the left tile is not. Only its left or only its right. In any other situation, the new tile is safe. Starting with the row safe, safe, trap, trap, safe, you can determine the next row by applying these rules to each new tile. All right, I'm not going to read all of those, but it looks like we go through the steps here, right? So we have a little test case. Maybe I can make something that will generate a new tile set based on an old tile set, right? And have that just like be a function. Right, we pass in a string and it returns another string with the next row. We could even make an iterator if we wanted to play around with it that way. Here's a larger example, 10 tiles per row and 10 rows. And 10 rows, this large example has 38 safe tiles. Oh, right, and then we have to add up the safe tiles. Okay, how many safe tiles are there? All right, so let's do that. First, we'll go to our code, which generates the latest file. To do that, go down here, change both these to 18s, add an 18 there, try to do a save, create the file, jump to the file, insert AOC 2016 18 and try to build it. And then this should say, oh, right, I have this doing the release code. It says unsolved, unsolved. Okay. All right, so the first thing I guess we should do is make a function which takes a row of tiles and generates another row of tiles from it. That would be the first thing I would do. So let's test this. Let's test this out by creating a test. There we go. Calc one row. It'll expect dot caret 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 caret. I'm just doing this first row here. TOString. I'm assuming I'm just going to do everything by strings here, and then we'll just say what should we do? Next row. Let's just call it that and just give it a dot dot caret caret dot. And we can make that a, just take an ester. So that should fail to build. I'm going to switch this back to debug because waiting 6 seconds for this is painful. There, 2 seconds. That's slightly better. And then so we just create a function new next row. It takes row, which is going to be a stir, and returns a string. Let mut result is equal to string, and then we can just push onto the string for each one, and then just return a result. And now this should build. Oops, I should go to the test. But fail the test. Why is this? Oh, I know why it's not running the test, because I got to switch it over to 18. Otherwise, we end up running all the tests every time. There we go. Now we have a failing test. Okay. So the next thing we need to do is just walk the string. And I think, like I said, there's a windows in the iterator. We had chunks last time, but chunks is not what we want. We want windows. Standard slice windows. Here. Right, this goes RU, then US, and then ST. And so we can do, that's a windows of 2. So we can create a windows of 3 for window in O. Right, we're going to have an issue here because the first one and the last one need to be dealt with separately. I don't know if this is going to work. Does it count as a slice? No, it does not. Iter, maybe chars. No. There's got to be some way to do it. Do I have to actually collect it as a slice? Like collect vec_char like that? Yeah, okay. Now it comes up with it. So let's just do the inner one for now, and then we can figure out maybe the outer one in a second. So we could say, what are the rules? Left and center, center and right, or only left or only right. So we can actually say if window is equal to left and center, so that's left and center, and right is safe. Or, oh, yeah, we can keep doing this, right? If or window is equal to this, or window is equal to only its right, or only its left. Then the new tile result.push is equal to this, else result.push dot. Right? Now this won't work because we're leaving off the first and last. Yeah, see? So the first and last have to be dealt with separately. So we already have a safe one. So for the first one, the left can't be and the left can't be. So for the center and right, or just the right, is a trap, then we put a trap in there. So it's basically only, right, we have a safe tile followed by a center and right. That's a trap. A safe tile followed by a safe and a right is a trap. The only other two situations could be are this one, and these are not traps. So I think that we have a simple solution to this, right? Just looked at that value there, and if it's a trap, we insert a trap, and if it's not a trap, we don't insert a trap. So we can just say if, we can say result.push row of 1 equals trap. If row 1 equals trap, then push a trap. Oh, we can just say push row 1. Right, and that should get us the first. Oh, we can't do that here. Well, we're going to convert it to an array of vectors anyway, so we can just say let row equals row.chars collect vecchar. Just do that, and then we can just say rows Windows 3 here, right? And that should give us a first one, and it does. And then with the last one is just the end, right? Result.push. It should be the same thing except length minus 1. Length minus 2. Row of row.len minus 2. Yeah, and that test passes. Okay, good. I guess what we can do is see if that also generates the next row properly. Calc next row. And we'll just do this one here. Caret caret dot dot caret is toString is equal to next row of dot caret 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 caret. And we're not doing any error checking here because we're assuming the string is at least 2 entries long. Okay, so that passes. Is it worth doing this? We could do it. Just put it in a loop, right? Test larger example. We can just say paste. Here we'll just say, oops, dot toString, comma, and here we say tab tab quote, and then this will be let. Oh, I should have tabbed one more over. Array equals vecbang that. And now we can loop over the array. So let first is equal to array of 0, current is equal to array of 0, and then we can just say for, oh, maybe we could just grab an iterator. No, this is fine. For I in 1 dot dot array dot len 1 dot dot, because we want to check. So we say assert eq current is equal to next row, no, array of I is equal to next row of current, and then we just say current equals array of I, and we go through the loop that way. Does that pass? It does not, because I didn't pass in a string. Oh, no. I didn't pass a reference. And it doesn't like that. So we can do that, and then we can get rid of the reference here. Yeah, okay, so the larger example works. Okay, so now I think we're ready, right? All we need to do is read in the string from the input file. There's no parsing to do. I just want to flip this over here. Oh, git add input, git commit -m 2016 day 18 input. It is. Okay. All right. Let's do that. Next row, I'm just going to say this is test for now, and then we'll just delete it. CFG test. But we can do this. Oh, Clippy isn't telling us anything here. I wonder if I have a more strict Clippy in my hook. Let's take a look. Git hooks pre-commit. Oh yeah. All targets --d warnings. Okay. Clippy. Color always. All targets --dash capital D warnings. Okay, let's try that. Clippy. There we go. Okay. So, right, next row. Oh, did I? I did. Okay. And then this just gets this thing here for item, sure, in array dot iter dot skip one. Item. Can I do that? Oh, yeah, and then this is item. No implementation for, so this is really useful here, huh? Maybe I can do that. There, and then the test should still pass, right? It does. Good. Git status. Git commit. There. Now I was able to push the input file. Okay. So in our parse function, we'll just store the string here. First line is a string. And this gets first line of toString. And then here in parse, we're just going to say self.firstLine is equal to AOC lib read strings input 2016 18.text of 0. And let's just print it out for now just to see what it looks like. Self first line. Read string. Read lines. Is it called read lines? I forget what I've called it. It's been a while. What do we got? Read to chars. Yeah, it's called read lines. Oh, there's a move here. Okay. If I do that, that's a vec of string. And if I say 0, it's a string. I do want to move it. Oh, maybe I just clone it. And then we hit run. And there we go. Okay, so now what we need to do, what do we need to do? I forgot what we need to do. How many safe tiles are there? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, so I need to actually calculate, does it calculate how many safe rows there are in 38, in 10 rows? So we have next row. So now I have to write a function called count safe. Start with the starting row and number of rows. And it'll return a usize. So the first thing we need to do is count the safe tiles in the starting row. Do I just make this a string? The reason I'm thinking of doing that is because now I'm thinking what we can do is we can write a trait on string that returns the number of safe, because it's basically let mut count is equal to starting row dot chars dot filter ch equal to that dot count, except ch is probably a reference, right? So if I do that, yeah, and then we want to loop, and that's the first row, that's number one. So we can say num minus equals 1, and so while num is greater than 0, maybe we can do that, say, and just call it row, like that, and say row is equal to next row of row. Count plus equals row dot chars dot filter ch equals dot count, and then just return count. Can we combine these things here? Num minus equals 1. Yeah, so the first thing I'm doing is doing the next row. Okay, that's fine. We got this code in here twice. I was thinking it would be kind of cute to make this a little trait, but we can live with that. And then what we can do is we can say, starting with this guy, count safe example, right? So we have this as our starting row, and we want to say expected 38. Actual is going to be count row. Oh, count. What did I call it? I just wrote it. It's called count safe. Count safe. Starting with this guy. And going 10 rows. Right? So let's flip this over to the test thing here. And let's see what blows up. Doesn't like this. Expected due to... Oh, is that going to fail? Because I'm returning a, yeah. It creates a temporary which is freed. Great. What's a way around this? Maybe I can just call this a starting row again. And just say let mut row is equals starting row.clone. And then that should be a string, right? Yeah. And now we're just dealing with the strings. Okay. And that doesn't have to be mutable anymore, correct? Okay. So that count safe example worked right off the bat, which is not surprising because we're just counting the dots, right? So now we have something that we can call, right? We call this count safe with self first line, and we're doing 40 rows. And I put a semi there for whatever reason. Okay, run. 1987. That's the right answer. Huzzah. Okay. Any cleanup we need to do? Oh, yeah, the thing I was thinking down here, we could just say matches. If matches, bang, window, comma, all this stuff. And then you just get ors, and that gets that. Will that clean up a little bit? Okay, it still gets 1987, and if we run the tests, all the tests pass. Okay, that's a little cleaner, I guess. Anything else we could do? No, I think that's it. I think that's good. Anything we can do here? The only thing I could think is there a way to just have one of these? We could, but we'd have to do this again, right? So the other alternate way of doing this would be saying, so just dash. We could say while num is greater than 0, count plus equals, let mut count equals 0. Count is this, right? And then we could say row is equal to next row, num minus equals 1, count. All right, let's do that. That should give us the same answer. Yeah, and it does. All the tests still pass. The only thing is we're generating one extra row here. We're doing one extra row. We subtract one, num is 0 now, and so we stop and throw it away. Yeah, I mean, it's a little cleaner, I think. We could always check to see if we could decrement num first and then see if it's greater than 0. We can calculate the next row, but it just makes it noisy, right? We could put this here and then say if num is greater than 0, do this. I'll just leave it alone. That's pretty clean, and it has one extra thing here, which I can live with. Is there anything else I could do to avoid? I don't know. Yeah, this is good enough. Okay, git status, git add source, git commit -m 2016 day 18 part 1. Very nice. Oh, very not nice. What's going on here? So let's go back to Clippy and fix this up. Oh, yeah, that's right. Clippy likes strs instead of strings for passing things in. Stir. And then this has to be, they say use toOwned. I thought toOwned was deprecated, or not deprecated, but less encouraged. And in 105, we have a problem here. Oh, right, we don't need to make a toString. And we don't need to throw an ampersand on there. There. Okay, that works. Tests still pass. And if I run it, it still says 1987. Okay, good enough. So what did we do here? Yeah. All right. Git add source. Git commit -m. Oh, we have it in there already. Commit. Yeah. Very good. All right. Let's find out what part 2 is. How many safe tiles are there in total of 400,000 rows? All right, so it's just going to take longer to compute? That's the only difference? I mean, let's try it. I don't know how much longer it's going to take. Count, save. First line, 400,000. It is taking a while in debug mode. I'll grant it that. This took 1 millisecond. This took 12.5 seconds. It came up with an answer. I wonder if there's like... Yeah, that's right. I wasn't expecting it to be wrong. I wonder if there's a... I can also try running this in cargo run release just to see. I wonder if there's like a loop here where it gets into a state where it's continuously looping over a sequence, and that might help us figure out how to calculate it faster. Yeah, release mode is under a second. So we can do that, right? well, we can at least look. Let's take a look. Use standard collections hash set. And what we can do is we can try to insert each row into a hash set and see if it already exists in there. Here's hash map, hash set. Oh, okay. I guess I can't do it that way. Hash set. Yeah. Oh, I forgot the .html. Duh. Okay. I think insert says whether or not it exists. Right. If the set did not previously contain this value, true is returned. If the set already contains the value, false is returned. So we can do this. We can say if not. Oh, let's create a hash set. Let mod ihs equals hash set new. If not, hash set insert row. Println found loop. And once it finds the first loop, it's going to print it out forever. So, but that's okay. We're running it in Bacon. Run. Oh, I won't run it in Bacon. Let me save this. I didn't like this because, oh, row.clone. That's going to slow it down all by itself. Okay, so that worked. Cargo run, release, less. There are no loops. You see, it almost doubled the time to do the clone and the insert. That's interesting. But there are no loops. So the fastest we can do it is just do all of them. Okay. Well, at least we looked. At least we looked. That goes away. That goes away. Right? And in this, you don't need to less it anymore. Yeah. Okay. Good enough. Yeah, that would have been the only thing. If there were a loop, then we could, go up to where the loop starts and then just calculate the tiles based on what we find, just grabbing it out of the hash set, the next one out of the hash set. That's all right. It would save us all this work here. Is there anything we can do here that'll go faster? I can't think of anything off the top of my head. All right. Commit -am 2016 day 18 part 2. Very good. Okay. Day 18 is done. Return to your advent calendar.